I'm joined here by Prakhar and better known as Chess Numbers India. Hello, Prakhar bhai.
Hi, Sagar. Great talking to you as always.
Well, it's the time of the year where we need your insights and inputs because the candidates race is heating up. 8 spots are there to be taken, and we have like the path from Grand Swiss. We have the World Cup coming up, the
Yeah,
FIDE Circuit. So we need to know who have the chances to make it there.
yeah. It's an interesting race, like every year.
And you've done your calculations, so would be very interesting to see. Should we go to the slides that you have sent
Yeah,
us?
sure.
Okay, so the first slide is this one: qualification paths to 2026 candidates, with lot of boxes here and arrows. I'm a
Yeah,
bit confused, right?
yeah. Let me explain. So basically, this is something I had made last year when it was first announced, actually. So basically, we have 8 spots in the candidates, right? So each of the boxes on the left that you see on your screen is gives spots. So the first is FIDE Circuit 2024 top one. It has 1 spot. Then if you go down, there's Grand Swiss top two who have 2 spots. Then World Cup top three, 3 spots. That will be in Goa. Then highest rating is 1 spot, and then FIDE Circuit 2025 is 1 spot, right? So those are
Correct.
the 8 spots broadly that are on offer.
Right.
Now the question is, what happens if that person is already qualified or doesn't want to play the candidates, or is the world champion who takes one of the spots? So what happens? So the arrows in each of these paths tell you where does that spot go. For example, had Fabi, who's qualified in FIDE Circuit 2024, not played, it would have gone to FIDE Circuit 2024 second or third.
Okay.
And then that is the path. So each row you can almost trace the path. So Grand Swiss, if the top two, one of them doesn't want to play, it goes to third, but it doesn't go below third. Then it goes to FIDE
So
Circuit 2024
actually,
second.
very interestingly, the
Yeah,
next spot in
yeah,
all of these qualification is the next spot in that specific
correct.
domain.
Absolutely. There's always some buffer, right? So if the person has qualified, the next person in the same list gets. But it often doesn't go below second or third.
Right.
It goes to some other way beyond the first two.
And if you look at the third box, which is that uh, in the case of Grand Swiss,
Yeah.
if basically
Actually, we can go to the next page. I think that will be very clear if we look at the next page.
okay,
So what I try to do is now today I just made a couple of changes. One, we know Fabiano. The
yes,
first row
he
is
got the
taken by
spot
Fabiano.
already.
He's already
And
got the spot. All
he's
done.
actually saying now that I've qualified, I don't want to play the Grand Swiss, I will not play the World Cup. He's not going anywhere else.
He's not playing the World Cup. Is that announced already?
I don't know. I mean, at least I don't.
I
I'm
hope he plays
assuming.
the World Cup because that's great for Arjun if he does. For
Why? Why would you
no,
say that?
so here's why I say that. For Grand Swiss and World Cup, Grand Swiss 2 spots up for grab in the candidates.
Mm,
If one of the top two, for example, if Gukesh, let's take a hypothetical scenario, Gukesh wins Grand Swiss. So now instead of 1 and 2 qualifying, 2 and 3 will qualify.
mm,
Hypothetically, if one of them did not want that spot, it would have gone to 3 and 4. But as per rules, it can't go under 3.
mm,
So then the next person who's offered that spot is FIDE Circuit 2024 second place, who's Arjun. We already know that.
mm,
That is less likely to happen right now because Grand Swiss Gukesh is the only one who's pre-qualified, who's playing, who doesn't care
mm,
about candidates, right? So very good chance that second and third places will take their candidate spot. They will not say no to a candidate spot because the whole point of playing Grand Swiss for a lot of people is the candidate spot, right?
So what
So
you're
that is
saying
unlikely to
is
happen.
that if Fabi plays the World Cup, him
Yeah,
finishing in top three is quite likely,
exactly.
which means that his spot, because it's confirmed from FIDE circuit, then World Cup. I mean, if Gukesh and Fabi both finish in top three, then
Yeah,
it goes to World Cup fourth spot.
yeah,
One will go to one of the top three spots because two are
yeah,
gone. And
yeah.
then the FIDE Circuit 2024 comes into the picture, which is second place is Arjun.
Yeah, who Arjun has already sealed that second place. So we like it's even better because let's assume Pragg wins Grand Swiss. He's the top seed. He's playing fantastic chess. He might win, right? I am pretty sure Pragg still plays the World Cup.
Yeah, yeah,
I would bet my
yeah.
money on Pragg
I'm
playing the
pretty
World Cup.
sure.
So Pragg can also be one of those people who can win, right? Or
Hmm.
anyone else who wins. Even I would also think if Abdul Sattarov or Kimmer or one of the youngsters wins Grand Swiss, they will probably want to still play the World Cup because that's the
Yeah,
kind of players they are.
yeah.
So if any one of them then plays the World Cup and does well in the World Cup, that just means that one more chance of the spot going down and actually getting to FIDE Circuit 2024.
So in this entire qualification thing, the
Mm-hmm.
first path through which you qualify is always
Mm-hmm.
locked in. So if let's say Pragg qualifies through Grand Swiss now,
Yeah,
finishes in top two,
yeah,
then his World Cup, if he qualifies, or through FIDE Circuit he
doesn't matter.
qualifies, that all is gone.
He will take the first path through which you always qualify.
Right.
So Pragg will take the Grand Swiss. If Pragg gets top two in Grand Swiss, he takes a spot from Grand Swiss. Nothing else matters. No matter where he places in the FIDE circuit, it doesn't matter.
For me, it seems like Grand Swiss is the fastest way to make it to the candidates, right? Like all other spots, you have to work for a month or even
Yeah,
more. But
yeah,
Grand Swiss, like 12 days, and you are
yeah.
into the candidates.
It's pretty brutal, I'm sure. Like 6 + 5 days, and but yeah, it is the fastest theoretically. Or you could just play a number of events and get to the rating spot. You can
which
play three
which
games and
which
get
is
there.
something we'll talk about at the end, which
Yeah, yeah, we'll
Hikaru
talk
is
about
right
that again.
now the front runner in that
Yeah,
category. So
yeah.
uh, we also want to speak a bit about FIDE circuit,
Hmm.
because I think people are very curious to
Hmm.
know if Pragnananda has already sealed his spot through FIDE circuit. I mean,
Yeah.
guessing that he doesn't make it through any other means. Is he sure from the FIDE circuit?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say sure, but I would say like 95% there.
Wow.
And we'll talk about the specific numbers. FIDE circuit is basically, for those who are not familiar or are less familiar, over the course of the year, you play a number of tournaments and you take the top seven best scores for any player. And whoever has scored the most out of seven best tournaments basically gets a candidate spot at the end of the year.
Hmm.
That is FIDE circuit. Right now, Pragg is leading by a lot, and we can just come to the standings. So right now, Pragg is at the top. He's played 5 events, of which he scored 107 points.
Which
Second
is
place is
insane, right? Like
Spirit.
having
Yeah,
scored an average of 21
yeah,
point something in
yeah,
5 events is,
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
think,
pretty
not.
insane. So last year, Fabi qualified on 130. To
Mm,
get there, Pragg only needs 23 points in 2 events, which is like 11 and a half. He can play basically 2600 rated open events, win two, and he'll have more. So that just goes to show how well Pragg has done till now. Like he'll easily catch that. This is the breakdown of Pragg. The only thing to note here is Pragg has played 5 closed events already. All of his
mm,
top 5 scores are closed events, right? He cannot play more than 5 closed events.
mm.
Closed is defined by any tournament which is more than 50, less than 50 players, less than 40. It's one of those. So basically, these are both round robin closed. These are all 5 robin
But
closed events.
can you tell me
Pragg needs,
why is
yeah.
Prug's only 5 events taken when he has played? Oh, because they are closed.
They are also
Got
closed.
it.
So you can't have more than
Okay.
5 closed events. That's the problem. And he has
So
already played 5.
this Grand Swiss will get added because it's an open event.
Yeah. If
Aha.
Pragg is anywhere between third and eighth, I believe, yeah, anywhere between third and
Wow.
eighth, he'll get a pretty decent score. Yeah.
Amazing. And then
So
we see here there are a few other people.
yeah,
Anish,
yeah,
Nodirbeck, Bluebaum.
yeah,
Okay, Magnus Fabi. I don't
not
think they
relevant.
will be part of this. But Tabatabai, Arvind, Dingler, and
Yeah,
Vincent.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if
So
Prague gets somewhere in,
yeah,
then anyone can win the FIDE circuit.
yeah. So there's two questions, right? One, is Pragg done? Can no one catch Pragg? I'll come to that in a second. The other question is, let's assume Pragg gets in through Grand Swiss or something. I think that second question is an absolute free for all.
Mm,
Because the thing that is not on this slide is the next 7 to 10 people. They're all within 35 to 40 points from 2 events. People like Wesley are there, a bunch of other Indians also there. And any of them can string a performance. The gap, 10-point gap, having Anish having played 2 events more is absolutely meaningless at this point of time, right? You can just
correct.
take a player string of opens, 2, 3 strong 25, 50, 2600 average rated opens, and you will easily catch that, right? So if Prague qualifies through some other method, it's an absolute free for all. And like I wouldn't bet any money on who qualifies through FIDE circuit in case that happens.
Wow. Okay. And at least in this year, there's one
Yeah.
very interesting thing that people cannot do a tournament, like there has to be a prior notice of some
Yes.
6 months, right? Like, so now it's already everything is planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything is planned. Everything is planned. I don't think FIDE has listed all the opens that might be eligible because if you tell FIDE that you are hosting a tournament, I think you don't have to tell them it's a FIDE circuit event till later. as long as the overall things. So I think there'll be a few opens will be added. I don't think there's any new closed events that will be added to this. A
So
few
we
opens
have
might get added to
Grand
this.
Swiss. We will have World Cup. World Cup is part of FIDE
Yeah,
circuit, or
it is.
it
It
is,
is. It
right?
is. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
So then London Chess Classic. There's
Mhm.
also a tournament in Chile. There is US Masters, London Chess Classic, and FIDE World Rapid and Blitz.
Yeah.
I,
Saga, if Prague qualifies, I have a prediction here to make. If
uh-huh.
Prague qualifies to Grand Swiss, I would not be surprised if one of the random top players goes and plays in Chile or Argentina, just to get that one score because it will be such a free for all.
And there will be many more open tournaments. I'm pretty sure there are others like these, these tournaments in December that happen in Spain,
Yeah.
like Sitges and
Yeah.
all of this. I think that they will, Sunway Sitges, they will all be part of the
They will
circuit
be part of
because
standing. Yeah.
their
Yeah.
top 8 players are higher than 25-50
Yeah,
usually.
yeah, absolutely. And even people have played 2, 3 events, even 10 points from a 2600 average rated event. You can get 11 points for winning it. A
Mm,
2600 top 8 players being 2600, 2600, 2600. You will get 11 points from that. That's priceless when the highest is 50, right? After Prague.
right.
So yeah, it could
By
be a
the way,
very
you
interesting thing
you
for us.
made this interesting calculation to show
Yeah.
that Pragg has to do things really bad in order to not make it through the FIDE
Yeah,
circuit.
yeah. It's less than, so the first table that you see on top is the current standing, right?
Right.
Pragg is 107, Anish, Abdusattorov. I've added Arvind and Dink. They're not fourth and fifth, but they have played very few events for a very high score. So they have more open spots. That's why I have added them.
Mm,
Probably Dink will not play, but just I added them for completeness. Now, what the table on the bottom is, what is the worst case scenario for Pragg? The worst case scenario for Pragg is one of the chasing group of players does third in Grand Swiss, then fifth in World Cup, and then wins World Rapid and Blitz. With third in Grand Swiss because that's the highest place you can get without qualifying. Fifth in World Cup because again highest place you can get without qualifying, and World Rapid if you win, right? That will give you 17.8, 15.1, and 25 points respectively. So what I did was added it to all three of them just to get a sense of where do people get. So even if Pragg doesn't score any more points in the last two events that he has, and Anish does, for example, Anish is the highest place, or Abdus Satarov because he's high placed. If he does third in Grand Swiss, fifth in World Cup, and wins the World Rapid, he would get to 108, just above Pragg.
I got.
So, but Abdus Satarov would still have an event in hand. That's the difference. So Pragg would then need to do something, but the chance of somebody going that close and like all three events just killing it is very, very low.
Mm,
What can happen though is 17 and 15 aren't very high scores. They're easily gettable in, say, second place in London Chess Classic or third place in London Chess Classic gets you there. Both Anish and Abdusarov have one open scores already, by the way. So they can easily add one or two or three, in depending on their cases, more closed events. So London Chess Classic could be one. Wesley is not in this, for example, right? Wesley is about 35, 40 points from two events. He also plays the US Masters, another event for him. So it's not impossible if somebody strings together two or three or four good results, but then Pragg is Pragg. He will also increase his lead.
but I'm,
So that's why 90-95% is what I'd say.
my
Pragg.
feeling is that Pragg has super high chances to make it through Grand Swiss or World Cup because
Yeah,
he's the top seed in Grand Swiss.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
his chances of actually making it in top two are pretty good. And
Yeah,
then this will be very exciting to see who will make it through
absolutely.
the FIDE
People,
circuit.
I don't think for the first half of the year, people just thought, let's give up on the FIDE circuit because Pragg will win it. Now, suddenly, they'll realize the place is
Yeah,
absolutely
they
up for
should have
grabs.
never thought that because
Yeah,
that's the nature of this. Yeah, like FIDE circuit goes on until the very end, so
yeah,
players can get spots from in between.
absolutely. 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 The one other thing to keep note is is FIDE circuit also never goes below third.
Mm,
So after third, it goes to a different path, and I'll come to that different path in a second. But it doesn't go more than third.
right.
The complication there is even the people who will be first, second in Grand Swiss and first to fourth in World Cup, they will score points. So they will rise on this leaderboard. So there's also a very good chance that you end up with a scenario where top two, three in the FIDE circuit are people who have all already qualified, right? Because winning the World Cup will give you 25 odd points. Winning Grand Swiss will give you around 25 odd points, especially if you win solo. And there are two people who would be that way, and three people in Grand Swiss, and three people who would be that way in the World Cup, right? So
So
there's
then,
also a chance
if
FIDE
all
circuit
have,
would not matter. In 2025, FIDE
oh,
circuit would not matter because top three would all have already qualified.
so
That's
then
not impossible.
there is no spot from FIDE Circuit 2025 at all.
It then goes to the combination of FIDE circuit 2024 and FIDE circuit 2025.
Not FIDE Circuit, just 2024. So then
No,
Arjun doesn't get that spot. Then it's
no, Arjun doesn't.
combined 24-25, which means that Arjun then has a very good chance because he had a very good score in 24.
Yes and no. Yes, because he had a very good score in 24 by far. But this year he's only on like 10, 15 something points.
Uh-huh.
So he needs to play a couple of opens. He needs to get some scores in to start. Even if he is, I think, even if he is in the top 10 this year, there's a good chance he qualifies.
Mm.
We'll only know once the Grand Slam actually happens. But I honestly feel that a lot of people who will be towards the top of these standings would have already qualified or wouldn't want to play, right? Because there's also a chance, for example, Magnus might win. I don't know if he'll play or not, but if he plays World Rapid Blitz, he might win that. That will give him 25 points if he wins World Rapid. Whoever. Or
Magnus
Fabi.
might not play the World Rap, but who knows? Maybe he decides, yeah, at the end of the year.
Exactly. He's not won it last year.
Yeah, true.
Wasn't won it last year.
By the way,
The,
there is this rating spot which is
yeah.
quite in the news right now because Hikaru has started to play in certain open events in USA, which
Yeah.
are not very strong. But he's, I think, doing well. I think he won all his games or something like that.
Yeah. So you need to play 40 classical rated events during the course of a year to be
Hmm.
eligible. Hikaru had played American Cup 8 games and then Norway Chess 10 games, so 18. He needed 22. He played one of the state championships in the US, played a bunch of 2000 rated players to 2500,
It's
gained
like
4 5 rating points.
how do we put it in perspective? It's like Gukesh or like Pragg playing the Tamil Nadu State Championship, something like that.
I'm pretty sure Tamil Nadu's state championship is 100x more tough than. I'm
I
pretty sure
think
there'll
he
be
played
GMs and
this
IMs who would turn up at the.
Louisiana
Yeah,
State Championship.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the interesting thing is this is the third time in a row where this has happened to the rating spot. If you remember the last time Ali Reza played a bunch of games to
Yes,
gain rating,
yes,
the time before Ding played a number of games within China during the lockdown,
correct.
round robin with the same players, like he played 20 odd games with the exact same players, two players to qualify. So this is the third time running whether this has happened to the rating spot.
Hmm. So I see that Hikaru played 6 games there in
He
the
played
Louis.
7, yeah, but one of them was not technically classical because they had to play 3 in a day, so they could only rate 2. So he's
Oh,
played 6 added to his.
so he got 4.8.
Yeah.
And actually, if Hikaru has now 6 games rated games, right, that he played, will 7 games be counted in his 40 to reach
No,
46?
only
So
6.
then he is at 24. And
24. He needs 16
imagine
games.
16 games, he keeps getting this 0.8, 0.8. He gets another 15 elo points or
Yeah.
4. He gets closer to Magnus also at number 1 rating
Yeah.
spot.
He absolutely could. He absolutely could. But I think he plays the US Masters instead, I think.
Hmm.
Because there is a US Masters event. I'm not sure if it's the open one or if it's actually the closing field hosted one of the St. Louis ones. If it is one of the St. Louis ones, I would think he might play that, but then he risks losing rating points there. So what does someone need to do to catch up? It's very, very tough. But the rating, the thing that makes it even tougher actually, it's not December end what's the ratings, whoever is the highest on the rating spot goes to.
It's
It's the
average of 6
average from,
months.
yeah, it's August to January ka average. And August and September are already in the books.
Mm.
So Hikaru already has if you compare to Arjun, for example, he has a 40-point lead in August, 40-point lead in September. So Arjun needs to overcome that 80-point gap over the next few months, even if he has to try, right?
Yeah.
So it's fairly unlikely if he wants to play.
So Hikaru's spot is kind of confirmed, right? In a way.
Pretty sure. Unless he has that horrible tournament
Unless
where
he
he starts
drops
dropping
rating.
rating.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't think that'll happen because the moment he loses a couple of games, he'll just stop playing then, right? And then again go back to these state championships where he can just
True.
win 0.3 in a row. So he doesn't have much to gamble.
So if we come back to this table that you've made, Fabiano gets the top spot in the FIDE circuit. In the rating spot, we can put Hikaru there. Completely open. I mean, in the FIDE circuit, let's put Pragg for now.
Yeah.
So now the Grand Swiss 2 spots and World Cup 3 spots completely open.
Yeah.
and it's very tough to say who will get them.
Very tough, yeah.
Um,
I,
so
I still think that FIDE Circuit 24 plus 25 is very, very important.
you think
And
so?
people are sleeping a bit on it. Yeah. If you look at the bottom spot, right, I think it's purely based on how low the scores on circuit are right now. So anyone who gets, say, 25 odd points from Grand Swiss or 25 odd 26 points from Grand Swiss or 27 points from World Cup will automatically get towards the top and of FIDE Circuit and will have directly qualified for candidates. Now, if you look at the bottom row on this, only till third does FIDE Circuit 2025 go. After that, it goes to the combined 2024 plus 2025.
Yes.
To get to a scenario where Pragg, Pragg, there's a good chance he has already qualified and he'll be top for sure. Two more people who would be top three, I'm pretty sure they would
I
have
think
qualified through World Cup
it's
and
too
Grand Prix.
much to ask like two people. For example, someone like Anish Nodirbek, all of them qualifying and being in top three in FIDE circuit looks unlikely, no?
No, but they will not be. So if they don't qualify, my point is, if they don't qualify, whoever qualifies, for example, let's say Vincent win. Let's
Yeah.
take any name, right? If Vincent wins Grand Swiss today, or Vidit wins Grand Swiss today, Vidit will get to top to second place. Whoever wins Grand Swiss, I'm pretty sure will get to second place or
Because of
third
the
or
number
close to
of
second place
points
because
they
of the number.
get.
Exactly.
And they've
So
already
that,
qualified. So then,
yeah,
got it.
it's not 100% that second, third won't matter, but I somehow have a weird feeling that second, third will not end up mattering.
And right now
Because,
in the
once,
combined standings of FIDE circuit 24-25, we don't know who's leading, right?
it's not the points combination; it's the sum of your positions in the group.
Ah,
So that is much tougher to keep a track of. I don't have a track of that yet.
I
It's just
still
that Arjun was second, so as long
Arjun
as Arjun
should
does,
really play more. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing.
I think he should just, yeah, he should try to. Obviously, Grand Swiss and World Cup getting through would be ideal.
Yeah.
If not, at least have enough of a standing that he can make top 10. He needs to play two open events and he'll get to top 10 of FIDE Circuit 20. At least, even if it's an off chance, he will really regret if he doesn't do anything and then it ends up coming to 24 plus 25.
So with this video, I think what we've kind of make it like 99% certain or close to 90 in the 90s is Pragg
Yeah.
will make it through FIDE circuit 25. Hikaru will get the rating spot, and these combinations of Grand Swiss and World Cup, because there are these players like Gukesh,
Mhm.
Fabi, and all of them playing, it is quite possible that there will be other players like Arjun, who's finished second in FIDE Circuit 24, could get some
Yeah.
possibilities there to qualify. So Arjun actually looks like a very strong candidate to make it to the candidates also.
I think I don't think so actually. I think Arjun, the thing that he needs to believe is that whoever does well in Grand Swiss will play the World Cup and will be one of the top two. I think that is the most likely source for Arjun's qualification, unless he obviously
I
qualifies
think
directly in Grand Swiss
he
or World
will
Cup.
be
Right?
like,
He will
guys,
believe that. Yeah,
please stop
chill.
all this analysis. I'm going to make it through. But yeah,
Yeah.
anything else, Prakhar, you think that we missed here?
No, I think it's shaping up to be a very interesting year. We'll know much more about after Grand Swiss, and
Yeah.
we'll see exactly how things are panning out. Who wins Grand Swiss will be very interesting to see.
But thank you for making this entire workings and so on. It gives us a great clarity, and also I guess FIDE makes this entire qualification quite exciting, yeah, in a way, with this thing how they've
Yeah.
structured.
Yeah, I find it very fascinating, and it rewards performance over the course of the year, which is the biggest. Right now, Pragg can play the two events carefree because he's been doing very well all through the year.
Mm.
He plays this key, yeah, sure, I'll get in if I do, but even if not, there's a good chance I'll get, and that will allow him to play his best chess in Grand Swiss and World Cup.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
rewarding performance over the course of the year is great.
I also think it's a balanced, yeah, rewarding performance over the course of the year, and then in Grand
Yeah,
Swiss you win in one event and make it. I think someone like Hans Niemann could very well win the Grand Swiss
absolutely,
and make it to the candidates,
absolutely,
which will
absolutely.
then it's like Niemann, Hikaru, Pragg. What a candidates that will
Yeah.
be.
Then Magnus, we might see Magnus playing 40 games to hold the five and take Hikaru's spot. He's played 10, 15. He only needs to play 25.
Yeah. Well,
That'll be fun.
I think he's very soon going to be a father now in September, so he'll be pretty busy with that. But
That'll be
thank you, Prakhar Bhai, for
Thank you
this,
so much.
and
Thank you, Sajid. Always a fun.
it was amazing. See you.
Awesome. Thank you.